Hi, all of Maple Ridge Little Eagles. It is Mrs. Yutzi, and today we're just going to talk about when is a good time to visit the school nurse and when should you try to stay in class. So we are going to go over some of those questions. All right. When should I go to the nurse? Who needs to see the nurse when you are at school? Well, when you are bleeding from a cut or a scrape and your teacher does not have a Band-Aid, then you could go see the nurse. But often if it's just a small cut or a small scrape and your teacher has Band-Aids, then you can just stay in class and your teacher can put a Band-Aid over it. Who needs to see the nurse? If you have trouble breathing, this is a reason to always go to the nurse if you feel like you have trouble breathing. Um, so anytime that you have that, then you can definitely go to the nurse for that. You might need medication or you might just need to be checked out and to rest. If you throw up or if you feel sick to your stomach, then you can go visit the nurse. So definitely if you throw up, you can go see the nurse, or if you feel like you're about to throw up. If you have something in your eye, your ear, or your nose, so that's always a good idea to go see the nurse if you feel like you got something in your eye. You don't want to accidentally injure your eye by rubbing it real hard. And if something is inside your ear or your nose, it's always good to get checked by the nurse. And if you had a fever within the last 24 hours, you should go see the nurse. This means that within one whole day, um, you have had a fever. That means you might still be contagious, so it's a good idea to go see the school nurse. And if you need to take medication, the nurse keeps all the medication safely secured in the nurse's office. So if you need to take medication, you should go see the nurse for that. And that way you can make sure you're taking the medication safely and correctly. If you bump your head, you need to see the nurse. An injury like that is something that the nurse should be able to check out. So if you do bump your head, always just go visit the school nurse. And if you are having a problem that is an emergency, then you should definitely go see the nurse for that in case you might need to be seen by a doctor at the doctor's office or at the hospital. And when should you not come to the nurse? You do not need to go to the nurse if you spill a little water on your pants or shirt. That's okay. Water will dry in a little while. You don't need to go to the nurse if you have a stuffy nose. The best thing to do is blow it, drink lots of water, keep your hands washed, and remember to catch your coughs and sneezes in your armpit or elbow. You don't need to come to the nurse if you are wanting ice from an old injury that happened more than 24 hours ago. Ice only needs to be used if a new injury occurs and the nurse feels you need ice. So if you've got a black and blue mark that happened over the weekend, the ice will actually not help it since it's an old injury and actually could slow down the healing process at that point if you put ice on an old black and blue mark. And you don't need to come to the nurse if you have a loose tooth. If you have a wiggly tooth, that's normal. It might hurt a little bit. Sometimes wiggly teeth do hurt a little bit, but that's normal. And you just have to be patient and wait until they are finally ready to come out on their own. And you don't need to come to the nurse if you were playing really hard at recess or going too fast on the swings. And at the end of recess, when you come inside, you feel tired, dizzy, or hot. Um, just give yourself a few minutes in the classroom. Make sure you drink lots of water, and you'll probably start to feel better within a few minutes. You don't need to come to the nurse if you are wanting to use the crutches or wheelchair for the day. These are only given if a doctor has ordered them or recommended them. And you don't need to go to the nurse if you're not wanting to do work in class. School is very important, so try to stay in class and try to work hard. You are responsible for your schoolwork. And also, don't forget to tell your teacher if you do come to the nurse's office. Your teacher needs to know where you are so that you're not counted as being absent, or the teacher just um, doesn't know where you went. And also make sure that your teacher knows where you are after recess. So if you go to the nurse during recess, it's important to make sure that a grown-up knows that you went to the nurse. And remember, you can be responsible for your own health by getting enough sleep, eating breakfast, washing your hands, being safe, and making good choices. Don't forget, you're at school to learn, so try to stay healthy. And the healthier you are, means that you will be able to stay in class and learn more. All right, little eagles. So I hope that you keep all of that in mind whenever you are wanting to go visit the school nurse whenever we are back in school. So just remember always to ask your teacher too before you leave to go to the school nurse so that your teacher knows exactly where you are. All right, little eagles, I hope everybody stays healthy and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.